In this session, we are going to see how to start Java with a simple Java program. Okay, you can execute Java programs in NetBeans. Open NetBeans, go to the file menu, click new project, and choose Java application in projects window. Choose Java application, click next. So this is the project name. So you can give project name whatever you want. Let's say my first project. So my project name is first project, and this is the path where you can store your Java project. Okay, if you want, you can change the path. It's by default. I give one name. Okay, so once you create a project, click on the project, give a right click on the project, go to the new, choose Java main class. Okay, so if your project is having only one class, directly you can choose this one, Java main class. If your project is having number of classes, either you can go with Java class or Java main class. So the meaning of Java main class is nothing but a Java class which is having the main method. Okay, here you can give class name. Let's say sample. Sample is my class name. Okay, Java is a case sensitive language. You have to be very careful with the small letters and capital letters. A new class will be created and the name of the class will be sample. Sample.java. Okay, here you can see this. A new class is created and the name of the class is sample. Okay, let's remove this command lines. This is the basic skeleton of Java programs. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll just remove this, which is generated automatically. We'll start from the scratch. So generally, so most of you are aware of C programming. I will tell you how Java programs are different from C program. I'll compare both of them. Okay, generally, C programs main function is like this. So let me increase the font size. To increase font size, go to tools, choose options, and here you can find the font and colors. Now the font size is 13. If you want, you can increase the font size. Let's say 24. Now it's better. Generally, the main function in C looks like this. It's like this. Main into main. As the return type is integer, you should return some value. Okay, this is how programs looks like in C. Okay, the main function looks like in C. So if you want to print a message in C, just you can use printf method hello world. Generally, this is the basic program in C. Okay, in C or C++. Okay, and there is one more variation of main function in C that is called as a main function with command line arguments. Either you can use this version of main function or you can use this version of main function in both C and C++ languages. The difference between these two is, so this is a plain main function. Okay, this is the main function with the command line arguments. So these two are command line argument. So what is the command line arguments? The command line arguments are used if you want to pass any data to the main function while executing the main function. Here argc contains the number of arguments you are passing while executing the main function. And the argument which you pass, those arguments will be stored in this array. Okay. The number of arguments you pass, the argument count will be here, and the argument itself will be here in this array. Okay, either you can use this version of main function or this version of the main function in C or C++. Next, we'll go back to the Java programs. Java is a pure object-oriented programming language. In the sense, everything should be in terms of classes and object. Okay, Java is called as pure object-oriented programming language. In the sense, everything should be in terms of classes and object. Whatever executable code you would like to write, that executable code should be inside a class. Whatever the executable code you would like to write, all the code should be inside the class. You must define a class while writing any Java programs. Okay, the syntax for creating class is a class keyword followed by name of the class. Okay, so this is the example of creating a class. The syntax is a class keyword, this is a keyword, and name of the class followed by the curly braces. Okay, whatever the code you would like to write within the class, you have to mention in between the curly braces. Okay, I would like to write a main method. Okay, I would like to write a main function. Okay, and the return type of main function is void. Okay, in Java, it is mandatory to give command line arguments. Okay, irrespective of whether you are passing data to the main function or not while executing it, it is mandatory to specify command line arguments. Okay, string. Here the command line argument are array of strings. Here XYZ is an identifier. This identifier can be any valid identifier like XYZ, ARGS, ABC. Okay, it can be any valid identifier. Okay, so whatever the command line, whatever the arguments you pass while executing the Java program, those arguments will be stored here. And the next part is who will take care of executing Java programs? Who will take care of executing Java programs? Okay, the execution of Java programs will be taken care by JVM, Java Virtual Machine. It's also called as JVM. In order to access this particular class by JVM, this class should be accessible from outside your project. Okay, to make this class accessible to JVM, which is outside this project, you have to make this as a public class. Then only JVM can be able to access this class. Otherwise, JVM is not able to access this class. Okay, if you are not making it as a public, this class cannot be accessed in another package. In the same way, as you are going to call this main method out from the JVM, it should be accessible to JVM also, so it should be made as the public. The next one is static keyword. So let's see why we need to use the static keyword. The general principle of any object-oriented programming language is, if you want to access members of a class, whether it is a variables or methods, okay, if you want to access members of a class, okay, you have to follow two steps. The first step is you have to create object. The syntax for creating object is class name followed by object name. Object name can be any valid identifier equal to new class name. This is the syntax for creating an object. Okay, so for example, if you want to create object for sample class, sample, let's say name of the object is obj is equal to new sample. Okay, this is the first step. If you want to access members of any class, whether the members are data members or member functions, you have to follow two steps. The first step is create an object, and the second step is access members using member access operator. It's also called as dot operator. So if you want to access main method of sample class, generally what you have to do is you have to access with the help of object name. The name of the object is obj dot main. These are the two steps you are supposed to follow for accessing any member of a class. The first step is create an object, then access the particular member by using the created object in step 1. But there is one situation where you need to access members without creating object. Let's say an example. From where the execution will start in any programming language, generally, whether it is C, C++ or Java, from where the execution will start. The execution will start from the main function. The execution will start from the main function or main method. Okay? Before main method, no code will be executed. Not even a single line of code will be executed. Okay? The execution will start from the main function. It starts from the main function. Only the code which you return inside the main function, in between these two curly braces, only this code will be executed. Whatever the code you specify before main or after main, that code will not be executed. Okay, but I would like to execute my project with the starts from the main function. So I have to call the main function. So Java virtual machine has to call main function. And main function is not an independent function. The main method is not independent method. Main method is bounded by a class called sample class. So main method is part of a class, sample class. Main method is bounded by sample class. So what is the procedure to access a method inside the class? The general procedure is create an object like this, and then access the members of that class with the help of object. But here the problem is I cannot create objects for accessing the main method. I cannot create objects for accessing the main method. Why? The execution is only starts with the main function. You cannot create objects to access the main function. You cannot execute any code before the main function. Okay, so this code will never execute as far as main function is concerned, because the execution only starts from the main function, and this part cannot be executed. Why it cannot be executed? Generally, the execution will start from the main function, and no lines of code will be executed before the main function. So you cannot create objects to call the main method. Is there any alternative approach in Java to access the main method without creating any object, to bypass the first step? Is there any approach in object-oriented programming language that allows us to access the main function without creating an object? Yes, and there is a concept called as static. If you make any member as a static, whether it is a data member or a member functions, if you make any member as a static, the static members can be accessed without creating an object. So you don't need to create this object. So without creating any object, you can access static members with the help of class name. What is the class name? Sample. Sample dot main. You can bypass creating objects to access the main method. Okay, so by using a concept called as static concept, if you make any member as static member, static members can be accessed with the help of class name without creating any object. So what? Okay, JVM will call the main function like this with the help of class name without creating any object. So that's why you should make main method as static. Okay, I repeat once again all these things. Every code should be inside a class, whether declaring variables or whether defining members functions. Everything should be inside a class. So you should create a class. The syntax is class name followed by curly braces. If you want to make this sample accessible outside this project or outside this package, you have to make this class as public. If you make this as a public class, then only JVM is able to access this sample class. In the same way, if JVM want to access main method, and the main method should be accessible to JVM. So you have to make it as a public. And these are the command line arguments. So whatever the data you pass while calling the main function, those arguments will be passed in ARGS array. ARGS is a string array. And the static keyword is for accessing the main function without creating any objects with the help of class name like this. Class name dot member name. So it helps JVM to call the main function without creating objects. So this is the basic skeleton of any simple program in Java. Public class, class name, okay, main method. See here, in one file you can write any number of classes like this. This is a class sample, then this is class A. In one file you can write any number of classes. Okay, and while saving this file, the name of the file should be saved as the class name which is having the main method. So out of these three classes which is having the main method, sample class is having the main method. So while saving this file, the name of the file should be a class name which is having the main method. So this file name should be sample.java. You have to be very careful with the file name. Java is a case sensitive language. You have to take care of small letters and capital letters. How to print a message to the output stream, like our command prompt. How to print a message? For printing a message, you can use printf function, which works exactly same as it was in C program. Okay, it is exactly copy paste version of printf function. You can print like this: hello world /n. /n is to go to the next line after printing hello world. Okay, you can use printf function to print a data. Okay, as I told you earlier, Java is a pure object-oriented programming language. Everything should be inside a class. So printf function is also a member of a class. Okay, the class name is system. And I would like to print this data to an output stream. So you have to make it as the OUT. As I told you earlier, Java is a pure object-oriented programming language. Everything should be part of a class. So printf function is also a part of the class, and the class name is system. In system, S should be uppercase. You would like to print the data. Where you would like to print the data, that you need to specify. This OUT stands for standard output stream, which is nothing but your command prompt. Okay, so this is one way you can print the data. We have two other functions you can use instead of printf. Print function, println function. You can use any one of these three functions. This is a formatted output function which allows you to use format specifier like %d, %cf, and so on. So this print function is to print just a message. The difference between print function and println function. So this is a println function. The difference between print function and println function is, if you use println function, after printing a message, it goes to the next line automatically. Without need of specifying /n. See here I am using /n as I would like to go to the next line after printing hello world. Here also I am giving /n as I would like to go to the next line after printing /n, but here I am not giving /n. Okay, the println function will automatically go to the next line after printing a message. So you can use any one of these three functions. Let's run this program. Here it will show you the list of classes which is having the main function. As I created only one class with a main function, it is showing only sample. Select a main class. If you created more classes with the main function, all the classes will appear here. You can select the class name which you would like to execute. Let's see the output. for the first time when you're running your application, it takes some time to build all the dependencies, right? You can see the progress here. So here you can observe hello world, and hello world. Okay, this is the output printed by printf function. This is the output printed by print function. This is the output printed by println function. So 1, 2, 3. You will have three hello world statements in 3 different lines. If you observe these 3 functions, printf function, print function, println function. So for accessing these 3 members, these 3 methods, I have not created the object. I told you in the beginning, you have to follow 2 steps for accessing members. And the first step to be followed is create an object for respective class. With the help of that object you have to access the members. But here for accessing these 3 members, I have not created an object of system class. So what type of methods are these 3 are? What type of methods these 3 are? So I am accessing these 3 methods without creating any object. So if you if you are accessing methods without creating objects, what methods are these? These are the static methods. Okay, printf is a static method which is defined in system class. Println is also static methods which define system class. So this is the way how you are supposed to write the sample Java program. Hope you understand this. Thank you.